Hello everyone. How are you all? Hope you all are doing well and keeping safe. My name is Sapna Sangode, Assistant Professor, All India Shri Shivaji Memorial Society, College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Pune. I welcome you all for my today's topic on terminology which is used in food and beverage service. So we will start with the terms which is start from the alphabet F. So, what are the objectives of this topic? You must be thinking about this. So, after this session, students will able to learn the different terms which is used for interview purpose. After knowing this, they can appear for interview. So, first term is flatware. What do you mean by flatware? Flatware generally it is a term which is used in a catering parlance means all forms of spoon and forks. Here in this image you can see flatware. Generally it is called for spoon and fork. Next is fruit stand. What do you mean by fruit stand? Fruit stand is to display fresh fruit. Here is a few image of fruit stand. Next is function menus. Functions menus are special menus which is compiled for occasion such as Christmas, New Year's Eve, wedding anniversaries, birthday parties and so on. That's why it is called as function menus. Here is the image of function menu. Next, we have flambe trolley. What do you mean by flambe trolley? This trolley will have a gas burner or a flare lamp which is fixed on the trolley to the level of the surface. You can see here in this picture flambe trolley. It is a movable trolley. Next is farce. Farce is cuisine term which is used for savory stuffing. So here is the image of farce. Next is flambe. What do you mean by flambe? Flambe to cook or fish cooking a dish at the table and the flambing it done by pouring a spirit or a liqueur over. For example, brandy or rum. You can see here in this picture how they are doing flambe. Fine champagne. One of the best styles of cognac and indicative of quality. You can see here in this picture it is called as fine champagne. Next is for that means bake in an oven. Next is flute. Flute is a stained glass with at all tall but narrow bowl and it is used in the service of sparkling wine. The shape assists in retaining the sparkle of the wine. Next is foie gras. What do you mean by foie gras? Foie gras it is a liver of specialty flattened geese either served as a piece or used to make a pate. Here in this picture you can see foie gras. Next is frappe. Frappe is generally term which is used for chilled. For example, melon frappe or crème de menthe frappe. Here in this picture you can see frappe. Next is French dressing. It is made from oil and usually a wine, vinegar or lemon juice and seasoning. Mustard and herbs also we can use in French dressing. Here in this picture, you can see French dressing. Force meat, finely chopped meat, fish or vegetables mixed with other ingredients and used as a stuffing or garnish is called as force meat. You can see here in this picture force meat. Next is fool. It is a sweet dish which is prepared from fruit pulp and cream. Finger bowl. Bowl of warm water with a piece of lemon to wash fingers. It is generally served before the dessert after a course meal. It is presented on a underliner. You can see here in this image finger bowl with underliner. Next is fondue fork, a long handled fork with two prongs generally used to dip cubes of meat or bread and so on in hot oil or melted cheese fondue in French means melted. Here in this picture you can see fondue fork. Family pension, pension de famille. That means a small inexpensive hotels in France for family accommodation. Next, food court. A number of autonomous food counters are located in one place from where light meals, snacks, ice cream, and other beverages and so on can be bought and generally eaten in a common areas is called as food court. Flute, a long thin French roll, is generally called as flute. Next is fruit compote. It is generally used in breakfast time. It means stewed fruit. Fruit which is generally dipped into a sugar syrup is called as fruit compote. Next is flans. It is an open top dish, usually round in shape, lined with short crust paste and filled with cooked savory or sweet mixture, and generally after that it is baked is called as flans. Pine herbs. It is a mixture of chopped chervil, chives, tarragon and parsley. You can see here in this picture the different shapes of tarragon, chervil and parsley. Fermentation. It means conversion of sugar to alcohol and releasing a carbon dioxide by yeast. Generally, this process is used in beer and wine. Next is flocculations. It is a process that causes suspended particles in the liquid to gather into masses and then sink to the bottom of the container, which can be removed. Next is foreshop. It is a first art of distillate which is in pungent and impure. Next is whistle oil. It is an oily liquid mixture in the insufficiently distilled liquor. Form. Generally, this term is used in wine which describe the texture and structure of a wine which is generally young and tannic red in color. Next is foie de veau, which means denoting calf's liver and may be served with onions or bacon. Fortified wine. Wine whose alcoholic strength is increased by addition of alcohol, usually brandy, for example sherry and port. Next is froid. It is generally a term which is applies to any food or liquor which is served cold or chilled. Fromage assortis in French menu terms meaning assortment of cheese or various different types of cheese. Frost to decorate a glass by dipping its rim in lemon juice and then castor sugar that may be colored and it is applicable to certain cocktail is called as frost. You can see here in this picture frost. We are doing generally it is done during a service of cocktail. Next is fume, which denotes smoke when used on the menu. For example, fruit fume, fusel that means sharpening steel. Next is Frizzante. Frizzante, it is a semi-sparkling wine made by tank method. Next is finning. It is a process of clarifying the beer by attracting all these sediments. In this picture, you can see that all the sediments are taken out and then the beer is clarified. Flag. In this picture, you can see it is a peach and cherry and slices of other fruits used as garnish with cocktail and mixed drinks. Next is flue. It is a tube which is used as an outlet to carry heat from furnace. You can get the idea by this picture. Foot. It is the opposite end of a head of cigar and it is lit while smoking. So it is called as foot. In cigar we have foot and head. Front bar. This is a piece of bar that separates the customer and the bartenders. It is the place where the customer place the order for their drinks and then they receive it. Formal function. It is a function with certain procedures followed while seating and serving the guest is called as formal function. Everything will be formal here in this formal function. Function catering. It refers to a service of special function for a specific group of a people and the timing, food, beverages is assigned to them with the predetermined offered is called as function catering. Fino. It is a pale, straw-colored, light and very dry sherry with 15 to 16% alcohol. It is served chilled and often preferred as an aperitif wine. Here in this picture you can see Fino. Float. What do you mean by float? It is a beverage in which we add cream, skim milk and nitrous oxide added to create foam. It contains little carbonation and no caffeine. Floats were a beverage line introduced by the Dr. Prepper Snapple in January 2008, where the two flavors were available, A and W float and sun-kissed float. Function prospectus. It is generally used in banquet. It is a written document of function, date and time with the guaranteed number of a guest with the fixed menu, rate per head and other facilities required are mentioned. It is also called as function contract sheet. You can see here in this image a sample of function prospectus. Next is fizz. What do you mean by fizz? Fizz, it is generally a drink which is prepared from spirits, citrus juice, sugar, soda, egg and ice cubes together shake well, and it is generally served in a highball glass which is called as fizz. You can see here in this picture fizz. Fenny. It is mainly a distill from the fermented juice of the cashew fruit. It is also prepared from coconut and it is belongs from Goa and it is not sold outside this state. It is called as fenny. Next is the fruit squeezer, a very important equipment generally used in a bar. It is a small tool used for squeezing half an orange lime and lemon for a single portion. The juice is strained to remove seeds. It is called as fruit squeezer. Funnel. It is mainly used for transferring a liquid from large container into the smaller ones. Faster without spilling for bar use is called as funnels. And here in this picture, you can see funnel. Nowadays, we can get the funnel with the net again so that the seeds and all you can remove it. Next is wine terms. First one is flabby or flat. What do you mean by flabby or flat in wine terms? It refers to a wine lacking in acidity and mouth feel no structure or texture is called as flabby. Next is flow. It refers to a wine that is purely made and shows mistakes. Floral. It refers to an aroma of flowers such as rose, violets, gardenia or honeysuckle. So the name is given floral. Fruity. Sometimes you have heard this word fruity. It refers to a wine with obvious fruit aromas and flavors, though not necessarily sweet. Next is fleshy. It refers to a soft texture wine. It is called as fleshy. The next one is flinty. It is a mineral tone, more often an aroma than flavor. Is called as flinty. Next is full bodied. Generally, you have seen many wines we called as full bodied. It is a wine with rich, mouth filling texture and weight on the palate as opposed to thin. Next is flour. It is a dense, white, frothy yeast which is developed on the surface of the aging sherry. Fineness, it means delicate and refined texture and structure. Finish, it refers to the final impression a wine makes ranges from short to long duration. Fixed cost. This term also many times we have heard. So what do you mean by fixed cost? It is a cost which remains unchanged at different levels of activity. It's called as fixed cost. Next is food cost. It is the amount which is spent on raw material used in the production of food meant for sales. So hence it is called as food cost. quiz. Please like and subscribe the channel. Also attempt a small quiz related to the topic through the link provided in the description of the YouTube video. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any kind of query or question related to this video, do contact me. Thank you. Have a great time. References. Please find below mentioned references are given for this video. Continue with the references. Please find below mentioned references. Images are used. Thank you.